Mr. President, my dear colleagues, I vote yes to the motion to archive the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte, respecting the decision of the Supreme Court. It is undeniable that the Supreme Court has the power under the Constitution to declare an act of a co-equal body as unconstitutional, a power known as judicial review. The power allows the Supreme Court to ensure that all branches of the government act within the bounds of the Constitution, and it should be respected. The three main branches of our government, the legislative, executive, and judicial, each is vested with distinct powers and functions by the Constitution, none superior to others. Each operates independently with its own sphere of authority and serves as a check and balance on the others to prevent abuse of power. This is the foundation of our democracy, and it ensures the rule of law, accountability, and protection of rights of all Filipinos. In this case, the Supreme Court has spoken. By a unanimous vote, the Supreme Court declared in clear and unequivocal terms the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte unconstitutional and null and void ab initio for violating the one-year bar rule and due process clause. As a result, the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to constitute itself into an impeachment court. This decision, finally, is immediately executory. Mr. President, we have heard many good arguments in the recent weeks from both sides. Just today, being the youngest member of this robust body, I have learned so much from our esteemed and distinguished colleagues. But to me, it is simple. The opinion, or the most important opinion, is that of the final arbiter of our Constitution, and that is the Supreme Court. I have faith that the Supreme Court has done their duty and fulfilled their mandate. Being a legislator and a public servant, it is my duty to abide by that decision. Not too long ago, I took my oath of office as a senator, and I swore to support and defend the Constitution, and I adhere to that today. To do otherwise can lead to uncertainty and chaos, and even a constitutional crisis. This is what the rule of law expects from each and every one of us. And to respect the rule of law is to respect our democracy. And that is why I vote yes to the motion before us. Mr. President, dalangin ko sana na maresolba na natin ngayon ito upang mapagtuunan na natin ng pansin ang mga tunay at malalaking problema na hinaharap ng ating bansa at ng ating mga kababayan, katulad ng mataas na presyo ng bilihin, pagkaroon ng wastong hanap buhay, kalusugan at kaligtasan ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Senator Villar.
Senator Villar, Mark.
Senator Mark Villar is recognized. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to vote yes and explain my vote on the matter before us, and to explain why we compromised today on archiving this very important topic. But of course, we must always remember that the status quo is that the Senate has no jurisdiction. So in legal speak, this complaint is null and void. Last July 25, the Supreme Court rendered a unanimous decision declaring the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte unconstitutional, noting that it is barred by the one-year rule under the Constitution, and then it violates due process. The merits of this decision are not an issue at issue before us. The sole question we need to answer is whether the Senate should respect the decision of the Supreme Court. And I say clearly and emphatically, yes. The Supreme Court has the ultimate authority to interpret what the Constitution is. No one, including the Senate, can substitute its opinion over the courts in any matter concerning the Constitution. And the Constitution itself, in Article 8, Section 1, entrenches the court's role in interpreting the Constitution and determining whether there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction by any branch or instrumentality of the government. This includes the Senate, even when acting as an impeachment tribunal. Justice Laurel laid down the doctrine in the Supreme Court as the final arbiter of constitutional issues in Angara versus Electoral Tribunal, where it was stated that when the judiciary mediates to allocate constitutional boundaries, it does not assert any superiority over the other departments. It does not in reality nullify or invalidate an act of the legislature, but only asserts the solemn and sacred obligation assigned to it by the Constitution to determine conflicting claims of authority under the Constitution. At dahil nagdesisyon na po ang Korte Suprema, tungkol po ng Senado na sundin ang desisyon na ito. Sumasangayon man tayo o hindi, dahil nangako tayo, bawat isa sa ating mga senador, that we will support and defend the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, that we commit to obeying all laws and legal orders issued by the duly constituted authorities. Nasa oath of office po natin ito. In staying true to our oath of office, we must abide by the order of the duly constituted authority in matters of the Constitution, the Supreme Court. We must uphold the Constitution. Thus, the Senate cannot acquire jurisdiction to proceed with the trial, much less issue a verdict. Tulad ng sabi ni Senior Associate Justice Leonen, the impeachment process is a constitutional process. And although it is also a political process, it is not isolated from the requirements of the Constitution as a whole. Kailangan obserbahan ang due process, ang tama at makatarungang proseso bago matanggal sa posisyon ang isang individual. Habang iginagalang natin ang opinyon at pananaw ng bawat isa sa mga importanteng usapin, kailangan natin igalang, kilalanin at bigyang halaga ang kakayahan at kaalaman ng mga maestrado ng kataas-taasang hukuman na binigyan ng kapangyarihan ng ating konstitusyon bilang huling hukom na ipaliwanag kung ano ang batas at kahulugan nito at magdesisyon ng pinal sa isyung ukol sa konstitusyon. By recognizing the authority of the Supreme Court on the matter, the Senate does not abandon its mandate and its wisdom as an independent political body, nor does it concede or submit to a co-equal branch of the government. We are simply upholding the rule of law. At kung susuway tayo sa desisyon ng Supreme Court sa isang isyung konstitusyonal, binabaliwala natin ang konstitusyon. Ito ay magdudulot ng isang krisis sa ating saligang batas at lipunan na hindi makakabuti para sa taong bayan. As a functional society governed by the rule of law, we must accord our democratic institutions with respect, value their guidance, recognize their competence, and cherish their independence. Mr. President, pinapatunayan ng desisyon na ito na makakaasa ang tao na ang due process ay hindi lang guni-guni o kasabihan walang katuturan. Na ang due process ay para sa lahat at hindi lang para sa mga kakampi. Isang patunay na mapabisi presidente man o ordinaryong Pilipino, makakasigurado tayo na ang mga institusyon, ang Korte Suprema at ang Senado ay handang ipagtanggol, pahalagahan at bantayan ang ating mga karapatan. Without the rule of law, people may act without accountability, government leaders may act on personal interest, individual rights can no longer be guaranteed. Without the rule of law, there can be no justice, no order, and no real democracy. To end, I would like to quote Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Leonen, who penned the decision. There is a right way to do the right thing at the right time. This is what the rule of just law means. This is what fairness or due process of law means, even for impeachment. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Villar.
Ginoong Pangulo, mga kapwa kong senador at sa sambayanang Pilipino, bumoto po ako ng yes sa mosyon na sumasang-ayon sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema sa impeachment case laban kay Vice President Duterte. Ito po ay hindi sa gusto kong iligtas ang Vice Presidente, kundi dahil malinaw ang sinasabi ng ating batas at mas malinaw pa ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema na ito po ay labag sa konstitusyon. Alinsunod po sa one-year bar rule, hindi maaring magsampa muli ng impeachment complaint ng 1 taon matapos ang naunang reklamo. Ayon po sa kataas-taasang hukuman, ito ay nalabag. At bilang mambabatas, hindi ako pwedeng pumikit na lang sa harap ng isang tahasang paglabag sa ating saligang batas. At para saan o ano pa ang saysay ng panunumpa natin noong nakaraang linggo sa tungkulin na nakasaad doon na that I will protect and defend the Constitution kung ito ay susuwin lang naman natin. Ngunit linawin ko ito. Ang boto kong ito ay hindi para i-absuelto si VP Sara Duterte. Sa totoo lang po, gusto ko siyang humarap sa paglilitis upang maipaliwanag ang mga issue, upang sumagot sa mga tanong ng taong bayan at upang harapin anumang pananagutan kung ito'y nararapat. Dahil ang paninilbihan sa taong bayan ay hindi po pribilehiyo, kundi isa ring pananagutan. Public service is not just a privilege, rather it carries also huge responsibilities. Sa loob po ng mahabang panahon, nasanay na ang ilang matataas na opisyal kapag may kapangyarihan, may lusot. Kapag mataas ang posisyon, immune sa tanong o investigasyon. Tama na, panahon nang baguhin ito. Kung tunay po na walang kasalanan si VP Duterte, dapat siya mismo ang manguna sa pagbubukas ng lahat ng dokumento, paggamit ng budget at mga hakbangin niya bilang pangalawang Pangulo at kalihim ng DepEd. Walang dahilan para umiwas kung malinis po ang konsensya. Ang boto kong yes ay hindi pagtatanggol sa kanya, kundi pagtatanggol sa legalidad ng proseso. Hindi po ito ang wakas. Kung may basehan at sa tamang panahon, hindi po ako magdadalawang isip na suportahang muli ang isang lehitimo at makatarungang impeachment. Dahil ang pamahalaan po ay para sa taong bayan, hindi po para sa iilang nasa puder. Maraming salamat at mabuhay po ang sambayanang Pilipino.
Maraming salamat, Senator Erwin Tulfo. Ginoong Sekretaryo.
Senator Tulfo, Rafi.
Senator Rafi Tulfo is hereby recognized to explain his vote.
Mr. President, my vote is yes. Let me explain my vote. My dear colleagues, in our Constitution, the sovereign Filipino people agreed to establish a government that will run our country. Malinaw dito kung ano ang kapangyarihan ng bawat sangay. Ang legislatura ang tagagawa ng mga batas. Ang ehekutibo ang tagapatupad ng batas. On the other hand, ang Korte Suprema naman ang taga-interpret o tagapaliwanag ng batas kapag may hindi malinaw dito o may pagtatalo kung paano ito ipapatupad. Kaya naman, ang respeto ng bawat sangay ng gobyerno sa isa't isa ay mahalaga upang tuloy-tuloy ang maayos na pagpapalakad ng ating gobyerno. Under the Constitution, it is the House of Representatives that shall have the exclusive power to initiate all cases of impeachment. Wala po tayo papel sa proseso na yan. Our role only comes when a valid articles of impeachment complaint is filed before us. Mr. President, the case before the Supreme Court is about the impeachment initiation procedure before the House of Representatives. Whether a case of impeachment has been initiated according to the text and spirit of the Constitution. Of course, I will not delve into the correctness of the decision of the Supreme Court, but I believe it is within their authority to interpret the Constitution and declare whether the actions and processes before the House is constitutional. And so, we must accord the decision of the Supreme Court the same respect that they give the laws that we enact as the legislative. That is the scope and limitation of our powers. Having said that, allow me to go to the clear, dispositive portion of the decision. Sa dulo po ng 97-page decision, ito po ang sinabi ng ating Korte Suprema. Una, the articles of impeachment are unconstitutional and are deemed null and void ab initio. In other words, walang bisa nung simula pa lang. Second, the court said, the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to constitute itself into an impeachment court. Ibig sabihin, hindi nagkaroon ng Senado ng kapangyarihang maglitis bilang impeachment court. Mr. President, I agree that we should abide by the decision of the court to avoid any constitutional crisis. And if I were to take the duty to my heart, I believe the decision is very clear. No impeachment court was validly convened. That's my vote. With that said, however, there are concerns raised regarding the decision. So it is important for the Supreme Court to address these concerns. I have faith in the Supreme Court that it will perform its mandate. That's all. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Raffy Tulfo.
Sabi po ng preamble ng Philippine Constitution, we, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government that shall embody our ideals and aspirations, promote the common good, conserve and develop our patrimony, and secure to ourselves and our posterity the blessing of independence and democracy under the rule of law, a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, peace, do ordain and promulgate this Constitution. Nanumpa po tayo na susundin natin tong Constitution na to. Madali pong sumumpa, mahirap to pa rin. Madali pong sumumpa na susundin kung naniniwala tayo sa desisyon. Paano kung hindi tayo naniniwala sa desisyon? Paano kung ang tinatanggal ngayong hapon na to ay si President Marcos at ayaw kong maging presidente si Vice President Sara Duterte? Will I have the courage to follow the same decision? That is the test I apply to myself today. Tinignan ko po ang Supreme Court decision, solid po. Hindi nito inaalis ang kapangyarihan sa House to initiate impeachment. February 6 po, sigurado yan. In fact, before February 6, may Quadcom na, magiging Glorieta na yan soon. Tuloy-tuloy po yan, yung mga investigasyon na yon, kasi ganun ang politika sa Pilipinas. I hope yung sa baha, imbestigahan din. I hope yung sa corruption, sa smuggling, sa karami-rami nating utang, not only this administration, last administration, 10 administrations. We in this room are all for accountability, but tama yung Supreme Court sa tamang panahon, tamang proseso. Jeremiah 29:11 tells us, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Plano ng Diyos, pagpalain tayo. Pero plano ng Diyos, durugin tayo. So, I remember this episode, I think it was in Twilight Zone, and it was also many, many times portrayed on television. What if nakilala mo si Hitler when he was 6 years old? Or when he was a baby, papatayin mo ba siya? I think even sa psychology or philosophy classes, tinatanong to ng mga professors, what if you had that unique opportunity, nakatabi mo si Hitler nung 6 years old siya, papatayin mo ba siya? Ang hirap sagutin nun. Of course, for us who believe that thou shall not murder, ang sagot madali. But what if you could have prevented the worst human rights violations in the world, the Holocaust? What if you could have prevented such fire of fascism that it actually swept, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, nag-Time Magazine of the Year pa si Hitler. I wonder what our answer is. But I know my answer here today. If you kill Hitler when you are 6 years old, if you justify the ends by the means, you will create more Hitlers. So if the Vice President is guilty, dapat po siya ay i-impeach. Pero sa tamang panahon at tamang proseso. Nagsalita ng Korte Suprema na mali ang proseso, mali ang panahon. But yun po, Mr. President, sana kung ano ang discussion since February 5 dito na nakatuon kay Vice President Sara Duterte, sana kung sino ang guilty sa mga baha, ganun din tayo. Hindi naman siguro si Sara ang gumawa ng mga baha. Sana po kung ano ang cause ng pagkabansot or stunting yung corruption, ganun din. Araw-araw talagang wag natin tantanan. Lastly, Mr. President, may I make an appeal to the media, our friends, the vloggers, yung iba nandito, political analysts, advocates, school deans, etc. Nakalagay kasi dito, we all agree on a regime of truth. Parati na lang ang vloggers ang nasasabihan na fake news. Alam niyo po, marami tayong political analyst ngayon, di naman sila analyst eh. Ang ibig sabihin ng analyst, provides objective, non-partisan, data-driven explanation of political events, systems, and trends. Ang ibig sabihin naman ng advocate, champions a specific cause, policy, or interest group to influence public opinion and policy decisions in favor of their positions. Wala namang masama dun eh. So kung ikaw ay advocate, sabihin mo na lang. Pero mag-a-appear ka sa TV, magpapa-interview ka, sasabihin mo political analyst. Pero gusto mo lang, bata mo maging presidente, nililito mo pa ang tao eh. Ganun din po. Ilan beses kami binugbog dito nung iba na ang sabi, bawal daw ang isang senator judge na mag-move to dismiss. Pero sila din ngayon ang nagsasabi sa mga senator judge, mag-MR kayo sa Supreme Court. Saan kayo nakakita na hindi pwede mag-motion to dismiss? Judges dismisses cases because of no jurisdiction. Ang CA, 3 sila o 5. Hindi nyo lang nakikita sa publiko at hindi sila mag-move kasi sila lang nag-uusap. Ang Supreme Court, hindi ba dinismiss nila? Hindi ba sinabi nila no jurisdiction? Tayo kasi dito nag-usap sa hall na to. So natural, hindi naman pwedeng si Senator Batorni ay tumingin lang sa akin tapos maisip niya dismiss. Walang manifestation dito na hindi sinasabi. My point, Mr. President, is that yung sinabi ni Mahatma Gandhi nangyayari na sa Pilipinas eh. Sabi ni Mahatma Gandhi, if it's an eye for an eye, the whole world will go blind. Let's make our stand. Ilang beses ko narinig dito sa hall na to, ang taong bayan, ang taong bayan, ang taong bayan. Eh, hindi ba naman lahat naman tayo halal ng taong bayan eh, di ba? Hindi ba pwedeng sabihin ko na lang, ang opinion ni Alan Cayetano, isa lang naman ako eh. Ang opinion ni Joel Villanueva, ang opinion ni Mocha Uson, isa lang naman siya eh. Pero yung sabihin ko sa inyo, guys, ang opinion ng civil society, ang opinion ng masa, ang opinion ng taong bayan, dapat makonvict. Are we not overstepping and are we not confusing rather than enlightening our political processes? Yes, you might think this is a different Alan Cayetano from the impeachment of President Estrada, impeachment of President Arroyo, impeachment of yung hindi natuloy na impeachment kay CJ Davide, sa impeachment ni CJ Corona. But aren't we supposed to be wiser? At hindi ba tama naman yung sinabi ng Supreme Court? Dapat may impeachment pero hindi dapat gamitin ito ng magkalaban lang sa politika. Ayaw natin maging presidente si Vice President Sara, talunin nyo na lang sa 2028. Ngayon, kung talagang may ginawa siyang masama, edi impeach pero sa tamang paraan. I apologize if I'm emotional on this issue, but hindi tayo makawala eh. Ang daming mas importanteng issue, pero nakapako tayo sa issue na to. Thank you, dear colleagues, and thank you to the Filipino people for the opportunity to share my thoughts on this. So I vote for the motion of Senator Marcoleta.
Secretary will proceed.
Senator Cayetano Pia.
I vote yes, Mr. President, and I will explain my vote.
The lady may proceed.
Thank you. Why are we here today? Why do I have to cast my vote? It is because a group of citizens, including the members of the House of Representatives, exercised the right to impeach an impeachable officer. Under the Constitution, there are two ways to file a verified complaint for impeachment. Article 11, Section 3.2 by any member of the House of Representatives or by any citizen. And Article 11, Section 3.4 by one-third of all members of the House of Representatives upon a verified complaint or resolution. There were 4 impeachment complaints filed. December 2, December 4, the third on December 19th, and the 4th complaint was endorsed by 215 members of the House on February 5, the last day. On February 18, 2025, Vice President Sara Duterte filed a case with the Supreme Court to question procedural and substantive due process. Her arguments: the House of Representatives circumvented the constitutional one-year ban rule on initiating impeachment proceedings. I won't go into the details, Mr. President, but I will submit my full speech into the record. Vice President Sara's prayer was for the Supreme Court to issue a TRO as well as a writ of preliminary injunction to enjoin all respondents from proceeding with the impeachment trial. After proper proceedings, issue a final injunction, nullify and set aside the 4th impeachment complaint, declare the one-year bar to be applicable from the filing of the 1st impeachment complaint, declare the 4th impeachment complaint to be violative of the one-year bar under Section 3.5, Article 11 of the Constitution. Sa madaling salita, ang prayer po ni Vice President Duterte ay pigilan ang impeachment proceedings dito sa Senado. In the comments of the HOR, they argued the complaint is not barred for the following reasons. None of the first 3 impeachment complaints were referred to the House Committee on Justice, which effectively ended the initiation process. And 2, Petitioner Duterte is stopped from questioning the freezing of the first 3 impeachment complaints for not immediately assailing it. Ano naman ang sinabi ng Supreme Court? The Supreme Court said the articles of impeachment transmitted by the HOR to the Senate based on the 4th impeachment complaint is barred by the one-year rule under Article 11, Section 3.5. It is also constitutionally infirm and therefore null and void ab initio. Ang ibig pong sabihin, hindi na dapat ituloy pa ang impeachment proceeding na ito dahil ang impeachment complaint na isinumite ay labag sa one-year bar rule na nakasaad sa Constitution. Ang probisyong ito ay naglalagay ng limitasyon na isang impeachment complaint lamang ang maaaring maisulong sa loob ng 1 taon. Dahil sa paglabag na ito, ang impeachment complaint na ito ay itinuturing na labag sa konstitusyon at walang bisa mula sa simula o tinatawag na null and void ab initio. Mahaba po yung diskusyon ng Supreme Court dyan. Makikita ho yan dun sa kaso. Doon na lang ho sa isusumite ko, mababasa po doon yung ine-emphasize ko na provisions. So in final, sabi ng Supreme Court, the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to constitute itself as an impeachment court. And this decision is immediately executory. Ano ho ba ang ibig sabihin ng immediately executory? Ibig sabihin po nito na notwithstanding the filing of a motion for reconsideration by the House, the Supreme Court's decision is immediately executory such that the MR will not stay the decision. Katulad po ng sinabi ko kanina dun sa press briefing ng Supreme Court, after mag-file ng motion for reconsideration ang House of Representatives, inulit pa rin ng Supreme Court na immediately executory po ito. Ano ba talaga ang karapatan ng Supreme Court na makialam dito sa impeachment case na ito? Well, ito po yung tinatawag na judicial powers ng Supreme Court. The Constitution expressly grants judicial power to our Supreme Court. Article 8, Section 1 of the Constitution provides that judicial power includes the determination of whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of any branch or instrumentality of government. Sinabi po dito, any branch, kasama po dyan ang Senado. Pwedeng sabihin ng Supreme Court na may grave abuse ang Senado. Pwedeng sabihin yon. Pwede niya rin sabihin sa House yon. Pwede niyang sabihin sa kahit anong branch of government. Yan po ang nakasulat sa ating Constitution. In Francisco versus House of Representatives, the Supreme Court ruled that, and the judiciary in turn with the Supreme Court as the final arbiter effectively checks the other departments in the exercise of its power to determine the law and hence to declare executive and legislative acts void if violative of the Constitution. So sinabi talaga dito, possible na ang Executive Act, ang Legislative Act ay maging void. In case of conflict, the Judicial Department is the only constitutional organ which can be called upon to determine the proper allocation of powers between the several departments and among the integral or constituent units thereof. The House of Representatives urged the Supreme Court to exercise judicial restraint. Sabi ng House, hinay-hinay lang, Supreme Court, so that you can avoid encroaching upon the powers of the legislature and violating the principle of separation of powers. However, the Supreme Court in Duterte versus HREP held that there is a clear and demonstrable textual commitment in the Constitution for the court to act on any grave abuse of discretion of any branch or instrumentality of government. This includes the House of Representatives or the Senate in their exercise of their prerogatives with respect to the process of impeachment. Grave abuse of discretion from the provision does not mean actions without jurisdiction. It includes acts which originally may have been within their discretion, but subsequently the subject of a violation of a constitutional right. This is what is meant by excess of jurisdiction. This court does not decide whether and when to initiate a case of impeachment. However, the court has the power to decide how the provisions which limit the exercise are to be interpreted. On due process, numerous Supreme Court decisions expound on procedural due process in various contexts. These cases underscore the Supreme Court's enduring commitment to uphold procedural due process as a safeguard against arbitrary government action. Bakit po pumasok itong issue na due process? Kasi sinabi ng Supreme Court, hindi naman nagkaroon ng pagkakataon ang Vice President na makita ang complaint sa kanya, hindi rin nakita ang mga ebidensya. Due process exists kahit saan daw pong parte ng paggogobyerno natin. Based on the decision, in order to proceed with the impeachment proceedings, the House prosecutors must show not only a valid ground thereof, but also that procedural due process has properly been observed. As this safeguards individuals from the arbitrary exercise of government power by requiring adherence to fair procedures. As such, when there is a violation of due process as enshrined under the Constitution, the case must be dismissed. Kailangan ba ng Senado sumunod sa Korte Suprema? Sinabi ko po at uulitin ko na ang sabi ng Korte Suprema, void ab initio nga po ang kaso. Walang bisa. In Latin, void ab initio means void from the beginning. Sa umpisa pa lang, void. It indicates that something was never valid or legally effective from its inception, rather than becoming invalid at a later point in time. So sa umpisa pa lang, invalid. Hindi siya naging invalid later on. Invalid siya sa umpisa pa lang. Absolutely non-existence from the very beginning. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng ab initio. Null and void. It produces no rights, imposes no duties, and affords no protection. It has no legal effect. It is, in legal contemplation, inoperative, as if it has not been passed. As such, it cannot justify an official act taken under it. Yun po ang basihan ng aking desisyon. It cannot justify an official act taken under it. Hindi ho pwede nating pasukin. Gustuhin man natin alamin. Kapareho ho ako ng napakaraming kababayan natin na gusto nating alamin kung ano ba ang mga issue na to. Pero sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi ho natin pwedeng gawin yon. We have to follow the rules. At idadagdag ko, nang sanabi nga ng Supreme Court, ay ito ay immediately executory. Again, the decision stated the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to convene itself as an impeachment court. As such, there is no constitutional authority to even convene as an impeachment court. I am a member of the Senate and I am a lawyer. I am bound by my solemn oath. Nag-oath po tayo last week lang. Ang sabi dun sa oath, I will well and faithfully discharge to the best of my ability the duties of my position. Ginusto ko ba to? Do I want to be a judge here? Hindi po. Nung nag-aral po ako ng law, sabi ko, Lord, wag niyo akong gawing judge. I hate being a judge. Malambot po ang puso ko. Kung pwede, lahat innocent. Yun ho ang gagawin ko. Kasi napakahirap humusga ng ibang tao. But this is my solemn duty. It is my duty. I took an oath. And therefore, gustuhin ko man o hindi, I have to make a decision. And binabase ko ang aking decision kung ano ang sinabi ng Supreme Court. Yun naman po aming lawyer's oath. I do solemnly swear that I accept the honor, the privilege, duty, and responsibility of practicing law in the Philippines as an officer of the court in the interest of our people. I declare fealty to the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. Idudugtong ko yung oath na yon dun sa sinabi ng Supreme Court na kailangan sundin ang Constitution at siya ho ang magpapaliwanag kung paano i-interpret ang Constitution. My duty as a senator and as a lawyer is to be guided by evidence, by the rule of law, and by the principles enshrined in our Constitution. For these reasons, Mr. President, I cast my vote as yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Pia Cayetano.